Okay, guys, we're back at it again. We're in the spring semester 2020 during our coronavirus saga. And we just finished converting fractions to decimals, where I said you apply a long division process. But now there is a way to convert fraction to decimals and vice versa, decimal to fractions, made easy. And this occurs if your fraction divisor or denominator is any exponential of 10. So it increases by 10 exponentially. So 10, 100,000. So when you have your fraction where the denominator or the divisor is an exponential of 10, you really just convert the numerator to a decimal with the places based on how many zeros is in your divisor. So for example, you see here, we have 2 over 10, which is 2 tenths. So it's actually 0.2. Notice that we have 1 0, so 1 place. And that 1 decimal place, or we can say 2 tenths, right? Because that's what that actually is, 2 tenths. And that's how you would write 2 tenths. So here we go. We have another example. We have 2 over 100, which is 2. 2 decimal places, 2 zeros. So you see 1, 2 decimal places. Or we can say 2 hundredths, right? Right? The extra zero before the 2 digit is a placeholder for 2 places, because remember we only had 1 digit in the numerator, but we have 2 zeros 2 places in the hundredths place. This is saying 2 has to go in the hundredths place, as when we were writing decimal in words. Here we go. We have another example. We have 2 thousandths, right? Again, written 2 should be in the thousand space. And because the thousand space is 3 places, because there's 3 zeros, the 3 zeros, that's just a way of this is an observation. It's not like a mathematical theory. It's like an observation. Hey, 3 zeros, 3 places. 2 zeros, 2 places. 1 0, 1 places. 1 place. But actually these are tenths, hundredths, thousands, and your numerator should be, as a gauge where your last digit should be. So this is saying 2 thousandths. So means the highest place values in the thousands, and my 2 should be in the thousands, right? Here we go. We can see there's an extra zeros. Actually, I should fix that before the digit 2 is a placeholder for 2 places, right? And now here we have another example, right? Here we have now the digit is actually more than 1 in the numerator is more than a 1 digit number. Now we have a 2 digit number. So here we go. This is actually 22 hundredths. Now in this case, the numerator is 2 digits. It fills up the 2 places. So there was no need for you to put 0 as a placeholder, right? Now, what do you think happened now if we have our numerator that's greater than our denominator? Hence, we clearly have an improper fraction. And we know that improper fractions can be converted into mixed numbers, which means we have a whole number and a proper fraction. So according to my notes, what do you think happened to this example? So here is where we have 1 0 in the denominator. It's 22 tenths, but 2 digits in the numerator. Well, if you deduce the answer as 2.2, right, or 2 and 2 tenths, you deduce correctly. 1 0 means you have to move the decimal 1 place, and that movement occurs at the end of the whole number. Then you go left. Additionally, seeing that 22 over 10 is an improper fraction, as I stated earlier. So I'm just reading my notes. So hopefully you guys are following along with my notes. Again, this is my spring semester class. I'm talking about converting fractions to decimals, but it's a special case. It's where your denominators are exponentially increased by 10, 100,000, etc. So when we convert our mixed number into when we convert our improper fraction into a mixed number, you see we get 2 and 2 tenths, 2 and 2 tenths, and we can write that. The whole number takes care of itself, of course, and we apply the conversion rule for the fractional part only. So that is 1 0, 1 place, or better stated, 2 tenths. All right, so let's take a look at your text. So here you go. Here you have some problems right here. 1 through 3. Not a lot, but hopefully you got the concept, and hopefully your web assignment gave you more examples. So here we have 7 hundredths. So guess what? You should guess what that's going to look like, right? That 7 is going to be in which place? Yes, the hundredths place. Now it's 2 zeros, so that means it's 2 places, but we only have 1 digit in the numerator. So here we go. We have 7 tenths, hundredths, apologies. So that is 0.07. 7 is in the hundredths place, right? It's hundredths means 2 decimal places, and we use 0 as a placeholder because that's missing. Here we have 353 thousandths. That means my last digit was going to be in the thousandths place. And this is going to actually a 3. So we all know, we spoke about this earlier, that whenever you have a proper fraction, there are no whole numbers. So it's always going to be 0 point something, right? So my last digit, it's 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3. And that's 353. And you would understand the reason I'm writing this like this if you looked at my video on how to convert decimal into words, from standard form to words. All right, so they all kind of link. All right, this is all leading you up to understanding decimals. So just in case you're just joining, just looking at this video to see how to convert fractions that exponentially increases by in the tenths, in order for you to understand some of the steps and some of the things that I'm saying, you would have had to look at how to convert decimals into words, place values of decimals, rounding of decimals, and things of that nature. All right, and so the last problem from all these 3 wonderful problems that they give you in order for you to master decimals. Yeah, I know you can hear the sarcasm in my voice. This is 9 tenths. So 1 0, 1 place, the tenths place, 9 tenths. So here's our solution for converting fractions to decimals, and that's fractions that has the divisor that exponentially increase by tens. And the reason why we say exponential, because this is actually 10 to the 1, this is 10 squared, this is 10 cubed, and so on and so forth. So this is I love it when they give fractions where the divisor, the denominator, increases in exponential of tens, because all I have to do is use my zeros as a guide for my place values, or use the actual place value language, hundreds, thousands, to know how my decimals should be translated. So next, I'm going to do this vice versa. I'm going to show you how to take the decimal part and convert them into fractions.